Hey, B. Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, it's time for us to talk about married to medicine, okay? First thing I want to get into is Cecil having to sit down with his sons. He lets them know that they are like 85% of their arguments, and he asks them whether or not they're aware that their mother is getting financially tired of supporting them, and she's concerned that in the future she won't have enough money for her own retirement. Are they aware of that? And I'm like, they should be. Y'all just had a sit down not too long ago, unless this scene was filmed before y'all had to sit down with Simone. Yeah, something was off about that. And that's kind of why the episode gave a little bit of filler episode. Like y'all just was putting clips in here to fill up the time. But okay, honey. All in all, that's what's going on. They'll figure their situation out. Simone, I've seen her on social media where she's come to the people to let them know, oh, we got that money and then some. When it comes to her sons, when her son is online talking about the $60,000 credit card or the Tesla that he got or whatever, it seems like a little bit to me, she validates his actions on social media. So because of that, I'm kind of like, Simone, I love you down, girl. But I don't want to hear nothing about the stress that you have when it comes to your sons. Some part of me does feel like you could have did a better job of planning, possibly, when it comes to your retirement. Right? I would hope that you didn't have to dip into your retirement funds, unlike Contessa and her husband, to get a building or something like that. Maybe you could have did a better job at planning. I mean, it just seems like y'all also set boundaries that y'all do not stick to. Okay? Because I remember your sons were supposed to stay in the house. I think one was going to get like a year free of rent. Then the other one was going to get, 2 years free of rent, or maybe another year free of rent. And then they're going to start contributing and stuff. And it's like, when are they going to start contributing? Maybe at that point before y'all bought them that house, y'all really should have laid down the ground rules. And now that I'm having to pay free rent, why am I allowing you to abuse a credit card? Like you probably should have gave him a limit of $10,000. Like do what the people probably used to do back in college. You know what I'm saying? Maybe allot him $1,000 a month, if that, to get your necessities and the things that you need. Anything outside of that, you're gonna have to go get you a job and figure out how to balance. Okay, so I don't know. But good luck to them. They'll figure it out. Good luck to the Whitmores, okay? Let's get to this villa, back to the vacation where the ladies are. Y'all know Heavenly decided to show up, okay? Contessa knew absolutely nothing about it. Quad knew, but Quad didn't even tell damn Contessa girl, okay? So when Heavenly comes in, she does not speak to Simone. Simone's feeling a little way about that, but it's like, why do y'all do that? Like, y'all ain't even talking to each other. Why are you expecting this lady to say anything to you? Okay. Jackie tries to have a conversation with Simone saying, can I validate your feelings? And Simone's like, girl, I don't need you to validate my feelings. What I need you to do is speak up. Okay. Speak your thoughts. Meaning when you see some SHI, say it. All right. And especially as it pertains to your friend Heavenly, because you love approaching me as if I'm always in the wrong. Okay. And that's just not always the case. Period. Okay. So there's that. They're having that conversation. And Jackie's just like, well, listen, I want y'all to have this conversation. And if it makes you feel any better, like I didn't even talk to Heavenly. Okay. So I don't really know her side of the matter of it either. I was going to let y'all talk and then learn it as y'all talk about it for the most part. Right. And Jackie's just like, girl, not Jackie, but Simone's like, girl, it's hard. It's going to be hard for me to have this conversation with her. And Simone's like, it's not hard. And it's like, how you going to tell me what's hard? How you going to tell me about my feelings? Like, if you don't, Jackie, you doing too much, a little piece, okay? Now, Heavenly says that Quad kept her updated on everything that Simone was saying. And of course, Quad confirms that's what she's doing. Then she says, having them both there will clarify the allegations that Simone had. And that's my problem right there. The word allegations. Simone did not make allegations. Simone clarified already what pretty much happened and even had Contessa validate that because Contessa was right there when it happened. And you still gonna go in this confessional and talk about some allegations, though the allegations came from Dr. Heavenly when she labeled her as hostile, aggressive, and unhinged. That's where it came from. Dr. Heavenly made allegations, okay? She also made an allegation that Simone said she would have looked up your VIN number, but you took it to heart and then you approached her on some you knew for a fact type energy, right? Now, granted, I do believe Simone said that if she had it, she would have looked it up, but she did not look it up. And that's how Simone is thinking. Simone is thinking that Heavenly told Quad that she looked up the VIN number, right? So that's part of why Simone is upset. She's like, I didn't even look at this lady. I didn't do that, right? But I mean, if you had it, I feel like you would have, but also I kind of understand because y'all was beefing. Y'all was beefing at that time, okay? But my thing is, I just really don't understand Quad and Heavenly's relationship. I don't really, I don't understand. Okay, the loyalty that Quiet has to Heavenly when Heavenly has talked SHI about her, contributed to her getting damn near kicked off the show in a sense, contributing to bringing Sweet Tea onto the show to slight you or spite you in some capacity, but you still over there just hanging on like a shower ride. Like I just cannot. But if that's what you do, then congratulations and good luck, girl. Okay. Toya she's confused on how Heavenly said that she didn't feel safe, but she'll show up on a trip with the very person that she didn't feel safe with. Right. And so Simone is like, well, she's not going to be sitting in my presence, and I'm not going to be sitting in her presence, especially if she's sitting up there lying on me. That's what Simone says, but she ended up sitting down there in Heavenly's presence. Now, she didn't stay down there for long, but she did go. So Quiet asked Heavenly if Simone really did push her, because that's not what Simone is saying. And Heavenly is like, well, let me show you what she did. She did this. Get your fucking hands off me. And you know what? It was evil and it was unhinged. You've done unhinged things as well, but I don't think that Simone was unhinged at all. I think Simone hooping and hollering with Quad, a lot of people are going to paint Simone out to be the villain. Quad approached Simone with that type of energy, and Simone gave that shit right back to her high key. So yeah, emotions are heightened at that point. Heavenly understood exactly why they were arguing, but you want to go and take a photo? No, get your hands up off me. Don't put your hands on me. We're not taking anything together. And that lady, and for her to be so composed and not push you at all after she just got to hooping and hollering with Quad, yeah, okay. We're gonna keep going because I want to get to this dinner conversation where Quad asked, "Can somebody say grace?" She asked Simone. Simone said, "No, I holler." I know I can't.
Can we start with prayer?
Absolutely.
Who wants to say grace? Simone, you'll say grace, baby?
No.
Contessa asked Heavenly why she got on the plane and didn't tell her. And Heavenly says, it was a lot going on and I needed to get my headspace together, girl. So Contessa says, so it wasn't about you not wanting to be in the same place as Simone. And Toya kind of echoes that, or being in the same house, right? This is what Toya's saying. Heavenly says, well, I didn't want to be around no negative energy. Yeah. Simone says, I expressed to the group that you did not feel safe around me. And Heavenly says, well, I said I was done. I'm not coming. I said that you were very aggressive or unhinged. I may have said that, she says. And I also said that you pushed me. So a lot happened. And Simone says, baby, I didn't push you, baby. Heavenly says, but I felt like that. Okay, it was a touch. I feel like I was touched. Simone says, yeah, but you touched me and I touched you back. Heavenly's like, well, I don't want to argue. You don't want to because you're losing the battle. So Simone, she kind of showed how she did it. Like, nah, I just moved your arm from around me. Heavenly said, and that's how I felt that it was a push or something like that. She said, you pushed me or whatever. And so Simone says, well, it's on camera, baby. And Heavenly said, yeah, it is. And you should watch it. I think you might see something a little different. And it's like, no, Heavenly, you might want to watch it now. You watch it because I think you're going to see something different. And in that moment for me, I said, Heavenly has something else going on with her. Something else is going on with her, and I feel like she's using Simone as a misplacement of anger for her right now. She got some other stuff she's dealing with, okay? So Heavenly tells Contessa and Toya, y'all weren't over there, okay? It's my word against hers, and it was hostile, right? That's what she says. She says Simone was screaming and everything. She says, did y'all not hear her? And I'm like, Heavenly, Simone hollered after you hollered. When she told you to take your arm from around her and she walked off, you yelled out to her, I'm sorry about whatever you're going through in your marriage. You said something to get a reaction out of her because you knew that would trigger her. Okay. And she said whatever she said to you in private, and then you outed that in front of everybody or whatever it was, and you used that against her. And she reacted as she likely should have on your ass. Okay. Because she ain't saying nothing about your son. She ain't bring up your son being arrested and the fact that your son ain't talking to your ass. And you really would have played victim with that. So yeah, Simone reacted to what you did, and you said because you was the first one to holler. So Simone decides that I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna eat. And it's like, you're not gonna eat. She was like, nah, because I'm too unhinged. Okay, right? This a bunch of fake shit. So don't worry about it. So Toya says, Heavenly is unhinged. And I said, Heavenly has always been unhinged. But because y'all fans like to operate from a space of groupthink, y'all always act like Simone and Toya be the problem. The same SHI y'all say about Simone and Toya can also be said about Heavenly and Quad. Okay, that's why they be butting heads so much, because they damn near got similarities, okay? So Simone leaves because she doesn't feel comfortable anymore. And then Jackie tries to talk to Simone and gets her to stay at the dinner table. And Simone like, nah, I'm not going to do that. She wants Jackie to stand up and say what she need to say to her homegirl and stop trying to come at me like I'm wrong, right? But Jackie is also conflicted because she's like, both of these people are my friends and I'm really not trying to be in the middle of the situation. And I do understand where Jackie is coming from with being in the middle. Like, you want to just not have anything to say. So with that being said, I think she should not have anything to say as a whole. Don't prop one up over the other. Don't chastise one. Don't say one was more irate than the other. Don't say nothing, especially if you weren't over there to know what really happened. Right? So I can't even be mad at Jackie for just like, I don't know. My name been it, I ain't in it. I love both of these ladies, you know. But don't stick your neck out for one more than the other. And I feel like when Simone gets upset with Jackie for her siding with Heavenly, I don't feel like Simone being wrong with it, because Jackie has done that a lot. You were so ready to tell Simone in the car how she was doing too much, and Simone fired right back at you because you don't tell Heavenly enough that she doing too much. Right. So I'm riding with Simone, period. Okay. Toya asked Heavenly, what about trying to ruin her as a physician by trying to make her look aggressive? And Heavenly says she was aggressive. And Toya said, and so are you. 1,000%, Toya. And Toya not wrong. Be mad about it. Okay. Toya not wrong at all. You trying to hug this lady, the lady don't want to hug you. I'm sorry that you're going through whatever you're going through with your husband, Simone. Scoot back. Scoot back, ma'am. Okay, so Mimi says, I asked you not to interject. Mimi, Toya's not your patient, and she's definitely not your child. Mimi, Dr. Jackie Jr. is really wearing thin with me. Really wearing thin with me. Toya says, I'm not interjecting, I'm asking a question. Quiet laughs and says, that's interjecting. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it is interjecting. I mean, Mimi was not wrong with saying that Toya interjected, because she did. It was how she said it. And it's just how and maybe that's just how she is, but she comes off like she's always in doctor mode. And at this particular time, she was talking to Toya like she was her child. And I'm like, what is going on, girl? So Toya tells Quad, well, you just interjected. Okay. And Mimi says, we didn't have this type of energy yesterday. Duh. Because Heavenly wasn't there. Duh. Heavenly was not there, girl. So of course you didn't have this type of energy yesterday. So Mimi says Toya is trying to get Heavenly upset and doesn't want her to discuss the things at hand. BITCH. She is asking her a question for those very reasons, to discuss the things at hand. Any questions that Toya asks Heavenly, in all honesty, Heavenly takes them out of context when Toya calls her aside and questions her and expects accountability from her, as because she don't never want to really give no accountability. Okay? So, ma'am, you just got here. Scoot back. Don't put your hands on me. You just got here, girl. Annoying. So Toya proceeds to ask if you had an issue with your friend. Heavenly says, is she my friend? And Toya said, well, then why would you put your hands on her? Not meaning hit her, but if you don't feel that she's a friend, why would you put your arm around her for a photo? Heavenly says, I didn't touch her. Okay, I ain't touched her mom. So Heavenly's over there denying it, not knowing that Contessa was right there with her and saw everything too. Okay? Heavenly also denies how everything happens. And Toya is like, so she just randomly just pushed you out of nowhere, huh? Yeah. So then Dr. Mimi jumps in and tells Toya that's not fair. What do you mean? What do you mean it's not fair? How is it not fair when this woman has sat up here and made allegations? Okay. The same thing y'all try to say that Miss Simone was doing, and now I'm questioning her on said allegations, and you want to tell me that it's not fair? How is it not fair to ask so she just randomly pushed you? Like, I don't know. And it's so interesting when I hear Mimi say that Toya just want to have something with Heavenly. No, Dr. Jackie Jr., you just want to have something with Toya, and I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see that you just have this thing with Toya, and I don't know what it's about. I don't know, girl. I don't know if Toya reminds you of somebody from your past. And I'm over here wondering, has your husband complimented her or something? Like, what is the issue with Toya? Does Toya give you the uppityness or something that you really give high key, and you don't like that? Like, do you not like the fact that Toya may act uppity, knowing that she lives her life based on how her husband provides for her? Like, I'm just so confused on what your issue is with Toya. And I don't want to hear nobody saying, Toya annoying, Toya da-da-da-da-da. Guess what, baby? The same thing you say about Toya can be said about Dr. Heavenly. Okay? But what do we see? And make no mistakes, Toya ain't running down to YouTube. She wasn't on YouTube giving all the tea behind the scenes, saying this and that, spilling people's secrets. Da, da, da. Toya wasn't doing that. Okay? But you got Mimi over here that's riding and dying. I am confusion. What's going on? Mimi says that she thinks Toya wanted this and didn't want a resolution. That's what you think? Resolution comes with accountability as well. You do know that, right? You have an issue with Toya, and I hope Toya sees it, and I hope she gets on your side. So there's that. Mimi takes Heavenly outside. She brings Brandy and Contessa out there, and Heavenly says the situation felt undeserving, right? Brandy asks, well, can you understand how you using certain words can be harmful, like the word hostile, right? And I think Heavenly wanted to say, or maybe she did say that it was hostile or whatever. And so Simone, back in the house with Quad and the other ladies, Simone says that she understands that she needs to give grace, but she's not ready to. And Jackie says Heavenly needs to hear the heart of Simone. And Simone says she didn't come here with that. She didn't come here wanting to hear my heart. And so she not finna get it. And I was with Simone on that. She came in, she didn't speak to me, she didn't say that. She wasn't trying to pull me to the side to rectify nothing, especially after hearing everything that you feel I said about you or whatever. So, like, no, we ain't talking. And again, I do feel like the cast are approaching Simone like Simone is in the wrong. Just because y'all feel like Simone's voice is the loudest and the screechiest does not mean she's in the wrong. She may have said what she said when she was upset with Quad, but she never followed through with it, right? In addition, she moved Heavenly's arm from around her. She didn't necessarily show her ass, and she supported Heavenly by going to her event and shit, even though she was a little late. Heavenly yelled out and used her marriage issues against her. And Simone was responding. But y'all sitting up here acting like Simone was 1,000% in the wrong. I don't like that. I don't like that. Because she wasn't. She wasn't at all. What was harmful and what was wrong, and not enough people are saying anything about it, even if I feel away, right, is the fact that Heavenly made those allegations, understanding how harmful it can be to one's career. Right? Now, for me, I'm like, girl, y'all on this show, it ain't been affecting y'all career. It's not going to affect y'all career. But that's me on the outside looking in. But doctor to doctor, y'all know what the going on. And I'm not hearing enough of getting on Heavenly's as I'm seeing y'all having conversations with Simone. Okay? And when you're having conversations with Heavenly, it's a completely different approach in my personal than it is to Simone. It's giving more woo, woo, woo. Tell me what's wrong. How can we fix it for you, Heavenly? What can we do for you on today, Heavenly? Oh, you're going through a lot, Heavenly. Oh, Heavenly. This grown-ass woman who will kick you when you down, go ahead on, okay? I'm riding with Simone. I know that's right. Go ahead on. I'm riding with Simone. Okay, that's her campaign slogan from me. Go ahead on. I'm riding with Simone. Okay, so Toya tells Jackie to go to talk to Heavenly, right? And then Angel and Quiet is like, wait a minute. I don't think this is the right time, because we probably trying to force people to talk when they ain't ready. I don't think they were wrong with that, because I mean, just a second ago, Simone wasn't open to talking to Heavenly. However, here's the difference. Heavenly is talking to Jackie, not so much as talking to Simone. So Jackie still goes out there to have that conversation with Heavenly and check on her. Jackie says to Heavenly that they are both hurt. She could see it, right? And she feels like she should go to Simone and let her know that, right? And Heavenly was like, all right, I'll do it, Jackie. I'll do it. And I said, now look at that. Who can get through to Heavenly is Dr. Jackie. Meanwhile, Dr. Jackie Jr. done pulled her outside because she was trying to have a breakthrough and it didn't work. But I know you are in the shoes of Dr. Jackie, so we know how much you want to be that person. Anywho, child. So Heavenly says, everyone says that Simone is going through something, but I'm going through some shit too. And Jackie tells Heavenly, she said, first of all, you're big enough to go over there and tell Simone that you're sorry and say it from the heart. Right? She says, and I understand you going through something, because not knowing where your baby is has got to be one of the most hurtful things. And Heavenly gets emotional and start crying. But I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't fall for it. For me personally, like, she crying. I'm like, nah. What's really hurtful is knowing that you were the reason that your baby is avoiding your ass. Okay, because you decided to go off on your son. First of all, not knowing where your son is, Damon know where he at. His brother know where he at. He just not fucking with you, because of how you sat up there and projected onto him that how his image was affecting your image. So you went slap dap off on your damn child. That person is grown. That child is grown now. They make their own decisions. I do understand as a parent, you want them to have a certain image because what they do does affect you. But damn, okay, you are the reason. You must have said a lot more hurtful things. You must have said a lot more than what you needed to say instead of saying handle that baby. Because if I handle it, I'm gonna get on his ass. So I'm gonna let you handle it. Okay. And then also it could have been a better sensible sit down conversation. Like explain to me what happened. How did this go? Okay. So you understand the consequences? Do you understand the actions? Do you understand what that may do to your image, what it may do to your father's or mine? Like, I feel like there was a way to have that conversation and you chose not to. You showed your ex on your child and now your child's not fucking with you. So it's not that she don't know where her child is. She's really hurt at how she showed up and treated her child. And that child finally shut her ass down and out and told her, I don't want to have nothing to do with this. Okay. Like how when she was younger, then she talk about her mom and them mistreating her or whatever. I don't know if she finally shut the door or stopped dealing with them or whatever, but that's all I could think about when I hear about, even though I do think Heavenly gave her kids a wonderful life, you know what I'm saying? But just that one moment of snapping off on that boy, I don't know, maybe that connects her back to her childhood or something like that. Because like, damn, I never thought I would show up like that with my child the way somebody did with me when I was younger. Okay, but either way, that's what's going on. So Dr. Mimi, anywho, let's go to the pop the balloon game. So they're popping the balloon, and one of the things, so they're reading these cards. And I thought this was kind of a fun game, and I love the fact that nobody really took major offense to what was being said on these cards. So like the first one says, always checking the energy of the group, but never her own. Jackie pops Toya, and Brandy says, I thought it was Mimi's. I said, that's the first person that came to my mind. The first one that came to my mind, always checking the energy of the group, but never her own. Okay. Right. And I think it makes sense for it to be Toya because Toya will check the group as a whole. Whereas Mimi, I feel like we've seen her just go to different people. Right. So there's that. Okay. It could have went either or. But with Brandy, that's one of the people that I thought in my head. And honestly, I don't think one balloon should have been popped for just one person. If there's multiple people within the group that operate like that, everybody balloon should have got popped. If it's 3 people, pop all 3 of them. Okay. Breaks the sound barrier. I am screaming because they said it was Simone. Simone breaks the sound barrier with hollering. But if you ask me, I think Simone, Quad, Toya, and or Heavenly all should have got their balloons popped. Because Heavenly can be loud too, as well as Toya. Okay, they all should have got their balloons popped, right? So Contessa stands up when they ask about, the best dressing person in the group. She stands up, child. I think she popped her own balloon. Contessa, girl, sit down. So Mimi was ready to pop her own balloon for treating her friends like a patient. Yeah, pop that balloon. I don't know if they popped Jackie's or not, but I think everybody was like, yeah, go ahead and pop Mimi's. And I'm so glad the entire group sees what we see as an audience of how she treats her friends. And it's like, Mimi, Dr. Jackie Jr., we don't want you to show up. I don't want you to show up like that. I don't want to see you show up for me, okay? And let me speak for myself, child. Loosen up. You don't seem to be as loosened to me. I don't want to see you in doctor mode all the time like Jackie, because at some point it's going to come across rude and you're going to be like, girl, the social media going to be down here dragging you. Like, loosen up a little bit. Like, why? I couldn't be her friend if every time I talk to you, you got to diagnose a situation. Girl, I had went to the grocery store and I don't even know how the hell I had forgot to get them grits or this or that. And you over here trying to diagnose what was going on in my head for me to forget them grits. Get the hell on up off of me, girl. Shut up, girl. Get off my phone. Okay? Too much, honey bun. Too much. So, anywho, the next one was never uses her voice to defend her friend. I think that was Jackie. Quad said, go ahead, Jackie, baby. They talking about you. For sure. Okay. What was the next one? I think Quad doesn't make enough time for the group. I can't remember why Heavenly popped Simone's balloon, but she popped her balloon for something. And whatever it was, I felt like that applied to Heavenly. Either way, we see Heavenly at a later time. She's in her Bible child. And I said, that's how you know Heavenly going through it. Because I don't think we've ever seen Heavenly pick up a damn Bible since she's been on this show, honey. This woman done picked up a Bible, and you could tell she's so unserious because of the way she just got to cussing about the Bible. I said, girl, go ahead. Okay, or at least cussing over the Bible. Contessa decides she's going to go around and check with everybody to see what it is that she could do for them, how she can help them. And when she gets to Simone, Simone says, Heavenly is here on some BS. And I want her to just get off that BS. Heavenly said, girl, I just want to speak. And I just want Toya to shut the fuck up when I talk, girl. So then Brandy says she thinks that Heavenly should apologize to Simone. And then once she do that, they could be on, a better footing. Right? So Contessa in this trip. Contessa did a great job with this trip. I think Angel of Potomac, should you get another season, you need to give Contessa a call. You need to give Contessa a call and see if she can help you out with the next one, okay? So Toya says that she doesn't know why Mimi is keeping up with her so much. I said 1,000% facts. She's acting like the cast on Traitors. Like, girl, why are you monitoring how many drinks Toya got? Like, it's crazy how you don't like Toya, but we often see you in her vicinity. Like, I understand that there is a group, right? Y'all often doing stuff together or whatever. But I'm really recalling the time at the Angel thing and you standing right there up in her square. Right over there with the people that you saying, oh, be careful who you align yourself with. But you all over there in the circle ready to get the tea. Like, what? I don't know. You don't like her, but it seems like you love her. So Contessa wants to talk and she wants everyone to wait until Heavenly says what she has to say, right? It's time to talk. Let Heavenly talk. Don't nobody say anything until she says, I'm done, right? So Heavenly says she's running for a campaign that's really serious to her. She says when she gets to Angel event, she's approached with a list of things that she did wrong at a speech, right? It kind of gives to me that Heavenly didn't want to go to that event, no way. And as soon as she walked in, she was approached by these ladies and she wasn't really trying to hear it, period, right? So Heavenly says that she always experienced the negative from Toya. So when she heard that Simone got the information from Toya, she was already like put off guard, already in the mood because whenever her and Toya experience things, it's a negative. Then, right, she says, when it was time to do the picture, she didn't like how Simone handled the situation. Right? So Heavenly pretty much spoke on all of that and she was about to go into something else or she had already started going on to something else. So Toya decides to interject. Everybody's telling Toya, chill out. No, stop. Don't interject her. Don't, like, just wait, just let her finish. So Toya was like, but she's dragging it on. Like she's dragging it. And Toya wasn't wrong. Like, what else you got an issue with? Because the last thing we talked about was the situation with Simone. So now you're about to just keep going and going and going and going. And it's like, girl, we trying to talk about this over here. Basically, it's given that Heavenly is long-winded, okay? And we trying to talk about you and Simone, and you about to go on this whole other conversation, right? So, Toya's trying to butt in, right? And I think Angel said, don't do that. And Toya said, no, you don't do that. Let me tell y'all, this is why I love Toya, because Toya don't be giving a fuck about what y'all talking about, high key. Okay? I be loving Toya, and I know she annoys y'all, but if you are a person that goes up for Heavenly, I really don't give a damn. I really do not give a damn. And I hope Toya angers and upsets you every single time. Okay? I love that she was like, I don't care. All right? Do not care. So Jackie Jr. goes and Heavenly walks off. Jackie Jr. goes and gets Heavenly. Toya says, there is no way you could think that we were okay because of what we've been through. Jackie Jr. interrupts and says, Toya, I feel like you're about to go off on a tangent. Well, if you let me get it out, you'll see whether I'm going on a tangent or I'm not. That's one. But two, don't be talking as if I can't say my piece when she mentioned my fucking name. She mentioned my name. Toya took notes, gave it to Simone. I always have poor experiences with Toya. Okay, well then let's talk about it. And then once we talk about it, then you can talk about what you need to talk about with Simone. Okay? And I just thought that was interesting for Jackie Jr. to do. One, I understand her getting Toya back because he really was giving her, see how it feels when you cut somebody off, right? When they going on a tangent, now I'm going to cut you off while you going on a tangent, right? So I get that, right? It is what it is. So Mimi says that she's not devaluing what Toya has to say. And Toya said, but you also not acknowledging what I'm saying either. I said, come on, Toya. Come on. So she says, we were trying to do this. We were trying to do this, which is like sit and listen. We're all trying to do this right now. Okay, well, if you all trying to do this right now, then why you interrupt her then? Why you ain't just listen to her then? So Mimi says Toya is an external factor. And I'm like, how is she an external factor when Heavenly literally sat up here and mentioned that girl's name? In her list of complaints, in her complaint of issues, she mentioned Toya. And Toya not supposed to say there? She says, I hear you, Toya. Toya says, I don't think you do because you just told me that I was going on a tangent. Okay, Toya told me. So Mimi gets up. She goes over there trying to see about Toya. Toya said, don't come over here, girl. She said, I ain't got shit for you. I ain't got shit for you. I said, come on, Toya. I know that's motherfucking right. I ain't got nothing. She said, well, I got something for you. Well, you can hold on to it, bitch. You can keep it because I ain't trying to have it, girl. Okay. And yeah, just go over there with it, love. Go over there with it. Go over there with it, love. So Heavenly goes and sits with Simone so they could talk. So when she goes over to talk with her, Simone is like, well, girl, I'm really stuck on this word unhinged. I'm stuck on the things that you said about me. She says, I feel violated when you use this type of defamatory language. Like I can't rock with it. Simone also lets her know, like, I don't feel like we friends for real. And Heavenly says, I never meant to hurt you and I was wrong, and I'm sorry. And Simone is coming off a bit apprehensive and stuff. And I get it, because what I was thinking in my head is the exact thing that Simone ended up saying. I was thinking, I see why Simone isn't so receptive to this apology, because y'all got into it before and you still repeated the same behavior. And not only have you done that with Simone, you've also done that with Quad, but Quad gonna stand beside you, okay? Period. So Simone says, I used to believe you before this. I used to believe you before you went off the rails and you did this. So I don't think Simone and Heavenly are in a good place. Heavenly has done some interviews where she's kind of talked about slapping the shit out of Simone. Simone just called out Dr. Jackie for supporting Heavenly and not wanting to say out her mouth that Heavenly was wrong, and I'm like, Simone, if you're going to do it, I understand you don't want to be in the middle, and it's like, okay, I get it, don't say nothing. But if you have to say something, call out the wrong on both sides if you feel like that. Because Heavenly was no more right than Simone was, if that's how you feel, right? So Simone been calling her ass out, and not only that, but the fans been on her ass too. They've been on her tail, and it's really clear. You really can see that Jackie do be more of Heavenly's friend than she is Simone's friend. But Simone, I don't know, love. You might have to be okay with the surface level friendships that you do have, and understand that these people are cast members more than anything, co-workers more than anything, versus the friendships that y'all used to have. I'm sure it's a lot of love there though, but this may be just surface level friendships that you got going on over here. I don't know, but y'all leave your thoughts and comments down below. That's all that I got. I'm Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Selling my priest to the choir, stand with my feet to the fire, give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cash died at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like ages. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I